A boy finds a way of killing anyone he desires. He gets started with people who had wronged him, but it soon turns into a worldwide operation. Let's see how he deals with the power he possesses. Welcome to Movie Recall. In today's video, we will be going through the 2017 horror thriller film Death Note. It's time to recall. Let's get started. Turn on subtitles and spoilers ahead. The movie starts and we are taken to a high school in Seattle, Washington. We see Light Turner, who seems to be a nerd as he is doing others' homework for money. Everything is going normally, but all of a sudden the atmosphere changes. The high wind starts to blow, and a notebook which seems really worn out falls out of the sky. Light notices the book and goes on to pick it up. As he turns over the book, he reads that the book is titled Death Note. As he picks up the notebook, it starts to rain heavily and everyone runs inside. Amidst all the chaos, Light spots a high school boy named Kenny Doyle attacking another boy. It does not sit well with Light, and he goes on to confront Kenny. Well, that didn't turn out to be a good idea, as Kenny knocks him out with one strike. When Light wakes up, he is in the principal's office, and he is in big trouble because, in the principal's hand, we see all the homework he has been doing for the other students. The principal now knows that he has been selling it. He is then told that he is going to face detention and finds himself alone in the classroom. Having nothing else to do, he takes out the book he found earlier. He starts reading the rules in the book. The first rule says that by writing a person's name down within it, that person will die in the manner prescribed. The second rule states that the person will also know the face of the victim. As he reads these rules, there is a sudden power outage in the school, and as it gets dark, Light hears glass shattering behind him and instantly gets out of his chair and turns around. He slowly goes out to see what's out there and finds 8 feet tall, an unusual, demonic creature, and with the presence of the creature, everything in the room gets tossed around. Light does not know what to do in this chaotic situation as he runs around the room scared for his life. The creature possesses some supernatural power as he shuts the door and shatters things simultaneously. Light is now trapped inside. Finding nowhere to hide, he takes cover under the teacher's desk, but to no avail as the demon puts away the desk without much of an effort. The demon comes face to face with him, but this time, in front of him stands the death god Ryuk, and he asks the boy to look out of the window. As he looks out, Light sees Kenny bullying yet another student. This is when the rules written in the book come into play. The demon convinces the boy to use the notebook. Seeing Kenny bullying people, he decides that it is going to be Kenny. He writes Kenny's name in the book, and then the demon asks him to choose the cause of death, and Light decides to write decapitation. Then Light sees minor events happening that is going to lead to the death of the boy, and when the boy dies, Light is horrified by everything he just saw, and he is at the same time amazed that it is even possible. When all of this has happened, it has been proved to Light that the rules written in the book are no joke. The demon then leaves. At night, Light is having dinner with his father, who is a detective named James Turner. The two start talking and the conversation is about Kenny's death and Light's detention from the school. In no time, the conversation changes into an argument. Light is upset with his dad for letting his mom's killer get away with her murder after he ran her over and paid his way out of facing justice for the crime he committed. After arguing with his father, Light goes up to his room and sees the demon again. This time the demon tells him its name as it says Ryuk, and goes on to add that he is a death god. Ryuk then tells him another rule of the book, saying he can also control people. He can make them do things that they do not even want to do. He can make them act against their will before they die, but he cannot do it for so long. It is only going to be for 2 days. Light, who has already been pissed off about his mother being killed and the killer getting away with it, right away writes his mother's killer's name, Anthony. We see Anthony dying at a restaurant. Light goes to his school, and in the school gym, he meets a girl named Mia. It turns out that he has a crush on this girl. Light goes on to tell the girl about the Death Note. He then tries to introduce the girl to the Death God, but ends up finding out that only the person who is the keeper of the book can see Ryuk. Light finds another way to prove it to her, so he goes on a website and finds a hostage situation being broadcast. Light controls the criminal named James Brody before the criminal is killed. He goes on to salute the military as well. Then Light opens the book and we see salute written inside the book. After seeing this, Mia is both shocked and convinced of the power the book possesses. They both then decide that they are going to use the book to make the world a better place. They say that they are going to use it to rid the world of the corrupted dictators and criminals who make the world an evil place. They use the name Kira, derived from the Japanese transliteration for killer, so as to direct investigative attention away from their continent. Kira begins to grow rapidly. The number of supporters grows rapidly, and some of them even start to worship. Then there comes a mysterious detective. He goes by the name L and does not show his face in public, as whenever he goes in public, he has to cover his face. He tries to look into Kira and comes up with the conclusion that Kira must be a police officer, or it is someone who has access to the police data in Seattle. As he goes to look for the origin of Kira, he finds out that the case with which Kira took their start involves the case of James Brody. He sees that Brody had acted strange despite the fact that he had shown no strange behavior before that. He then deduces Kira is a Seattle-based student with close ties to the police and indirectly concludes Kira can only kill by knowing the name and face of their victim. L then enlists Light since he has access to the police database as his father is a police detective. L says that he is going to need James' help in order to find Kira. Since he knows that for Kira to kill him, he needs to see his face, so he goes on a live broadcast and challenges Kira to kill him. That night, when Light's dad comes home, he tries to get some information about L from his dad, but it turns out that his dad knows as much as anybody knows about this guy. The only thing that he gets to know after talking to his dad is the name of L's right hand, Watari. Light refuses to kill the FBI agents looking into his case when Mia suggests it. The FBI agents who are looking into Kira's case, all of them commit suicide the next day as they walk off a rooftop. This is the first time when Kira has used the book to take the lives of innocent people. Light, however, is not responsible for their deaths because he never wrote their names in the book, and he right away goes on to blame Ryuk for the death of innocent people who were from the authorities. Light is extremely pissed off at Ryuk and tells him that if he does it again, Light will write his name in the book. Ryuk, however, goes on to warn Light, telling him that others have tried to write his name before, but only as far as 2 letters. James then comes on a live broadcast and seems pissed off at Kira for killing the FBI agents. He then goes on to threaten Kira to kill him as well. James is Light's father, so of course he does not kill him. When L sees that nothing has happened to James, he is now fully convinced that Light is Kira. While Light is at a cafe, he is confronted by L, who tells him that he is well aware that he is Kira and that he is going to prove it soon enough. He even goes on to reveal his face to Light. As soon as L leaves, Light right away runs home and decides that he is going to compel Watari, who is L's right-hand man. He plans on compelling him to give him all the information about L in the next 2 days. He decides that as soon as he learns L's real name, he is going to burn the page on which he has written Watari's name. In that case, Watari will not die, and this is the rule of the book. But the rule also states that only one name can be removed. Light receives a call from Watari, who tells him that he also does not know L's real name as it is classified. However, Watari says that he does know where they can find this classified information. He reveals that it is hidden in a secret facility in Montauk, New York. As Watari is being compelled by Light, he leaves for the Montauk. L discovers that Watari is nowhere to be found, and this is unlike him because he never disappears like that. L right away figures out that Light is behind this. He is now extremely pissed off at Light, so he makes his way to Light's house with a search warrant and a police force. They search Light's house for anything that would help them incriminate Light, but they end up finding nothing. The next day, Light goes to see Mia, and she tells him that she is the one who took the notebook before the police could find it. It is the night when the homecoming dance takes place, and L, on the other hand, figures out that Light is controlling his right-hand man Watari. He right away contacts the New York field office and asks them to stop Watari. They right away dispatch a security team to stop him. Light, on the other hand, slips away from the homecoming dance, easily fooling the FBI agents who are there to keep an eye on the boy. Light goes out and calls Watari, who is close to finding out L's real identity. As he had decided that he was going to burn the page with Watari's name on it, he looks for the page, but he is unable to find the page as Mia has already removed it from the notebook. Watari, on the other hand, finds L's real name, and as he is about to tell Light, he is shot by the FBI agents. Light gets extremely frustrated and goes back inside to confront Mia. She admits that she is the one who removed the page, and she then goes on to add that she was the one who killed the FBI agents as well. To Light's horror, she also reveals that she has written Light's name in the book, set to kill him at midnight, but she offers to burn his page if he turns the notebook over to her. And if he does turn the book over to her, Mia says that she will burn the page with his name on it. L, on the other hand, finds out that Watari has been killed. He says enough is enough. He picks up his gun and goes after Light. Light, on the other hand, writes some of the names of the local registered offenders. He is then chased by L and eventually gets caught by him at gunpoint. They are then interrupted by a stranger. L tells him that Light is Kira. To L's bad luck, the man turns out to be a supporter of Kira, so he knocks out L. Light then gets out of there and goes to see Mia at the Ferris wheel. Light tries to convince the girl not to take the note and offers her to run away with him, but she does not agree and takes the book from him. She then realizes that her name is already written in the book. Light has written her death in the notebook contingent on her taking it. Ryuk then makes the wheel collapse, sending Mia falling to her death, while Light and the notebook fall into the nearby waters. The page with Light's name lands in a burning barrel in front of L's eyes. An old man, on the other hand, takes the notebook away. Then we see Light in a hospital bed as he has been in a coma for 2 days now, and 4 new killings have taken place despite the fact that Light is in a coma. This leads the police to rule out Light as a suspect, however, L is still not satisfied with it. L is told that he won't be working on the case anymore, so he takes a flight back to Japan. L then remembers Light mentioning a calculus book and remembers that Mia is the only calculus student, so he abandons his flight and goes to search Mia's house. Light's father, on the other hand, comes to him and tells him that he knows that Light is Kira, and that he also knows that James Brody was not his first victim, it was his mother's killer. We are then told that before meeting Mia, Light had used the book to coerce a criminally charged doctor to rescue him and put him into a medically induced coma, while having another criminal recover the death note and continue Kira's killings before returning the book to his bedside, and both committed suicide after the role was complete. It was all a part of Light's plan to free himself from being considered a suspect. L finds the notebook page with the agent's names and deduces his capabilities. In a hysterical fit, he considers writing a name. It must, of course, be Light's name. This is where the movie ends, with Ryuk laughing as he says, "Humans are so interesting." Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to get new movie recaps.